Hello everyone. In this video, we will try to see the route between the 2 points on the map. So to proceed further on the demo, let me tell you what we have done in the last videos. We have added the one button on the assets main grid on in the field service app. This is the button dnlb show map. It will open the dnlbdemomap.html web resource. It loads the map, Azure map, and we have added the controls on the map. Then we have added the search feature in the last video. Then we have tried to show the points of the assets. We can see we are having the assets configured with the latitude and longitude defined and with the different status open, in progress, and closed. Based on the different type of status, we are showing them on the map. And also we have added the feature when you hover on that, it will display the details of that locations on those icons. So till here we have developed. So in this video what we'll do, we will try to show the map between show the route on the map between 2 points or going through these points. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this location. This is the Bangalore airport location, so I will take this as a start point. From here, the start point, I want to point the map, route on the map, like how the route should go on the map, and while going through these different locations, so it will cover all those points what we see, and it will come back to here. So it will start from here and it will cover all those locations and then come back to same start point. So like that, I'm going to show the map, show the route on the map. So like route, the path, the road map, how it will be look like. So that is a demo. To do this, what I have done is I have referred the sample from the Azure, and this is the sample, calculate a sample simple route, and this is the code for that. So this code I have referred it. So here in the code it is shown only with the start point and end point, but in the demo we will be seeing with the example while mapping all those 11 locations. So that is the demo we'll do. So for that, already I have taken the piece of code which I will be copying. I will be doing the copy from this one, and we'll do the step by step. So let's proceed. So first of all, we need to include the Azure Service JS file. So this is the file name, JavaScript name. This JavaScript service JavaScript we need to include in the HTML so that it will load that. So I'm going to modify the HTML file here. So this is the latest HTML file what we have developed. Here I will add that script. We have loaded it. I will save this one and publish this file in the web resource. So this is the my web resource load map.html. I will select my uploaded file, this one, updated file, and I will upload this. So that's all. So what it will do is it will give me the atlas related service information, because I need to get the route service, right, route URL from the atlas. So for those informations, as we can see here in the examples, it is shown here. Here we are having the route thing defined, right? Route URL, can see it is getting the from the service we get this route URL. So to get this service from the atlas, that is the web resource, so we can include it. However, I will include this script, this URL in the description box. You can download this script from there, or you can copy this script URL path of that service file from the my description box. Okay, so once it is added, we have published this file. Now we have to update our JavaScript file. So in the JavaScript file, we need to define few variables. So variables are like, first of all, one we will maintain one separate data source for the displaying the route of the on the map. So for that, let's take the data source name. So I'm going to create the variable where I'll call this line data source. Okay, and then we will take the variable for the route URL. Okay, then we will take the variable for the features. What I'm telling is, because these features which we shown on the map, these points, it's called the features, and these features uh, we have to pass the path through that. That is why this also we need to collect into the variable. So for that, I'm going to take the features as one variable. Okay, And then there are some other variables, the start point, and this is the start point position of the location of the Bangalore airport. So here I'm going to set it. So this location, longitude and latitude, is the location of the Bangalore airport from here. So I have defined it. So now we have done this step one, we have initialized the variable. Now let's set the route URL. So to do that, this is the piece of code, and this piece of code you can find from here in the sample also, where it has been done. Okay, so I'll copy this piece of code and put into this here. So this I will be loading. First of all, I'm setting the route URL. So the route URL I'm setting when the map is ready. So here in somewhere in below here, I'm going to set it. Okay, so subscription credential, it will be taking from the Atlas service subscription credential. We will get the subscription credential, subscription key from there, and then we will create the pipeline, and from the pipeline we get the route URL. So let me copy this name, route URL here, and we will update this route URL. Okay, so this we have initialized. So once it is initialized, then the next step is we need to initialize the line data source. So I'll copy this line data source, and this also we can initialize when we where we are doing the like our data source. This data source is for displaying these objects, these icons, using the symbol layer. So here we do that. So same way I'm going to define the data source for this one. So below this pop-up, I'm going to add the new line data source which we already have defined in the top. Line data source, let me copy the name from here, line data source, copy. I'll update the variable name here just if there is any spelling mistake. Okay, so line data source is the data we have created from the Atlas, then we have added to the map. And in the line data source we are trying to show the items which will be added to this data source using the line layer. And it will we have added this line data source null, and then the stroke color is the stroke color and stroke width. I will tell you this later on when we push the items to this line data, so that time we will set the stroke color. So basically what we can trying to do is dynamically we can set the different colors of the path. When suppose if you want to display the path for the car as a different and truck for the different, then for that kind of feature you can use the different stroke color with the condition. So it will get that stroke color what you have defined for that particular line item, line path, right, for items which we have pushed into the line data source. So that is why we can make it dynamic. That is why I have taken this as a get a stroke color and a stroke width. Then the line join is the round and line cap is the round. So like that we have added the line layer on the line data source. Once it is defined, then we need to define the properties of the vehicle. No, before that properties of the vehicle we have to update the features also, right, these features. So this feature is nothing but our the all the items what we are currently showing on the map. So this we have already developed in the previous sphere, where we have added the one function that is called the add resource, where we look for all the custom asset which is having the latitude longitude not null, and then it will loop through all those results, and then finally we are creating the features from that one feature, and then we try to show them on the map using this function. So here, when this feature is created, using the one by one each of the record, this feature we can push into the our feature property, feature variable. So feature dot push, that is the feature. So we are collecting all the feature what we are having on the map. Basically, these icons with these locations details we have pushed into our feature array, and then there is data source of the line data source what we have defined, which is nothing but this line data source what just now we have added. Because on the line data source, when the path will be displayed on the map, then we have to show we have to pass the line with with these locations. So these location also should be the part of our line data source. Already this is the part of the one of the data source, this one, where we add the data source, and it will, this data source displays using the symbol layer, which we have seen the separate function in the here. So using the symbol layer, using this data source, it displays the icons based on the different conditions. So this is how it is representing. But in the path also, it has to go through the same location, right? So that is why these features, this point also, we have to add into the our line data source. So that is why what I will do, I will modify this function a bit here, where this line data source is being, when it is added to the main data source where it is displaying on the map with the icon, I will add the line data source dot add, and I will add the this also, the feature also to the line data. So just in the case, we will will display the path through these points. Okay, so like that we have done it. So finally we have updated the our features, and then the line data source. Now the next step is we have to define the details of the vehicle, which will be which will be using like here. So I'm going to copy this part, put here below this one. Okay, so we have defined the vehicle property. So by default timeout I'm setting is to 20,000, and then vehicle type I'm taking as a car, then vehicle width is 3, vehicle height you can define this, these details are in terms of meters. So you can define the length, width and height of the vehicle. Then load, if you can define it, like how much weight it can carry. In case of like if you're setting as a truck, what type of vehicle, so then you can, for the truck, you know what load it can carry. So based on the type of width of vehicle and those things, the some route will be optimized automatically. If suppose the road is wide enough, then it will support those vehicles. If it is narrow, then it will not support. So for that purpose, automatically it calculates the path for that. So here you can set those properties. Here I'm setting the by default stroke color as this one, then the stroke width as 5, index 0, then dog kilometer in truck kilometer, and truck hours. So these are the parameters, like how much time it will take to reach that one. So those details we have set it. So now once the vehicle property is defined, we will create the function. So I'm going to define function here. So this is the function. I'll copy the function this. So this function I'm going to develop below the load map here. Okay, so let me explain you this function. So this function will check the features, like the array which we have created, features array here, right? We are pushing all the features into this array. So these features, if it is empty, then we will, there's no need to show them on the map, right? So that is why I'm returning from here, no need to display. If it contains some items, like we are having some points to display through which the path should go, then I will be proceeding. Then I have defined the starting position from, like, which is nothing but the Bangalore airport position, and this is the start point I have created using the feature and data point. We know this part. So and here I am representing with the pin blue icon of this start point. Then we have added these two line data source, obviously, because the path it will display from here, right, from this location airport. So it has to be also included into the line data source. Okay, so we have added. Now we have created one variable, the coordinates, because these coordinates are something we have to push the data into this coordinate in sequentially, so that if you want to find the path between, like, this is my first point, this is my second point, third point, fourth point, something like that. If the points are sequentially, you know the number, you have to push these coordinate locations in that sequence, so that when the path will be generated, then it will go through this in this sequence order. So that is why I have created the one array, and in that one, first point I'm setting as starting point, because from here the map route will start, and then I'm looping through each of the features, and then I'm pushing one by one. Here I have not considered sequentially, because I do not know the sequence order of these points. So if you know, then you can make some conditions here, and you can take out the filter by, like, in the ascending or descending order, and you can push your coordinates into this array one by one. And finally, my last point is also same as in my starting point. That is why in the last I have pushed the starting point coordinates as the same. So now finally the coordinates will have the location starting from one point, then it will go through all the icons what we have here. So the coordinates will have the array of location, which is nothing but the location of the airport, this one. Then it will go through all these location points, and then finally it comes to this location. So it is like that I have defined into my this array. Now then we are having this get route function, which we are calling with the properties with the vehicle here, and then this function we need to define. So here I have copied the code of the function. So let me copy this. Okay, so let me explain you this function. So this function will take the properties of the what how much millisecond timeout alert it is, what it is, then mode of the path, like whether are you searching for the truck or car. So you can see the mode of the vehicles are bus, car, motorcycle, pedestrian, those things, taxi, truck, van. So you can define those modes here, and this mode currently I have set in the vehicle properties as car here, right? So then we need to know the vehicle width, height, length, load, stroke color, stroke width. I have passed all the parameters along with that. Index number, doc kilometer, doc hash, and coordinates. This coordinates is nothing but the array what we are having here. So here you can see the second last parameter I am passing as coordinates, the array of the position locations coordinates, and then data source is nothing but which data source you want to show them. So this data source I am passing here into this function. And then finally this route URL, it will calculate the route directions. This is the built-in function of this route URL when we initialize this route URL, right? So when we here we do the initialization. When you do this one using the subscription key credential, then in that one we will have this function coming automatically as a function. So using that one we calculate that, we will pass these values there, and then once the result is successful, then it will get the directions, and from the directions we get the features, the data we will have, and this data will have the small points for all those paths. So for that one we will take the route line, and then we'll we'll set the stroke color. So stroke color is what we have done, what we are passing through this index number here, right? So through the route function. So this stroke color I have taken, which is nothing but my default stroke color, which is defined in the vehicle properties. This is what I'm saying here. If you have some conditional type, like if you have vehicle with some truck, for the truck for the different color, and the with for the truck you have different color, and with for the car you have different color with. So you can make those things as a conditional here, and you can set the stroke color, and this variable stroke color stroke width, you can we can get it when we try to display this line item data source using the line layer. So you can see this is where this stroke color name and stroke width name is same with as we are defining in the properties of this route line here. So this is setting from here. Now finally we'll add these points, the route points here with this index for this data source here. That's all. So once it is done, so it will display those points on the map. If there is something is failing, then there is a handle for that, error handling. So we are just giving the pop-up, we are showing the pop-up of the if there is some error on that while displaying the map on this displaying the route on the map. So yeah, so the function is very simple. So I'm going to save this file now, and let's check if it is working. I'm going to update this file, update this my JS file. Okay, publish. Okay, I think I forgot to mistake. I forgot to add one thing. This function we have not yet called. So we have to call this function when. So when I'm going to call this function is display path on map, is that when my all these points are loaded, displayed on the map one by one, and my feature variable is having all those points, and feature array is having all those points pushed, right? So then we have to display. So that is why this function I'm not going to call when the map is ready. I'm going to call under the add data source when this add resource is called, and inside the add resource function here, when all this has been successfully loaded shown on the map, the symbol layer, then we will display our path. So this we have to call it. So I had missed it. So I have called this function. Okay, I think after this one it should be when my all location has been shown, when for each for loop is completed, then because we have to loop through all those points, and then when these points are displayed on the map, then I will show the path right on the map. So this is why after the our for loop it should be called. So just I'm calling here. So I will save this file again and uploading it. Browse the file, save, publish. Okay, done. I'm going to refresh this map now. Let's check. Okay, there is some error. Okay, now it has been loaded. You can see now the path is displayed from here, and it is covering all the points. It is going through all the locations what we are displaying. So it's covering that. So this is how you can display that. You can animate it. There are some other examples you can see using the animation of the map locations. So many examples are there, and so many conditions and all those things. You can optimize the combination of this code and other sample codes, and you can utilize the showing this map path on the map for these ones. So I hope this video was useful to you, and thank you for watching this video, guys.